Next, we have Dr. Gavin Bellamy, and he is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Fisheries Authority in Jamaica. And he will be presenting on Caribbean fisheries authorities as change agent in achieving food and nutrition security through sustainable use of marine resources, the Jamaica experience.
Um, I have a difficult job after the two esteemed presenters before me, but I will try my best. So the topic is Caribbean Fisheries Authorities as change agents in achieving food and nutritional security. So let's start off by first giving a simple definition of food and nutritional security. And that is the access by all at all times to sufficient and adequate nutritional and safe food for an active and healthy life. So there's no argument that fisheries products are both healthy and beneficial to all, and with proper management is a safe source of food. And that was demonstrated in Mr. Houghton's presentation where he showed the nutritional values for fishery products. Some of the pillars for food and nutritional security, which I'll just deal with, is food access, affordability, nutritional, increased yields, environmentally sustainable production, variety of sustainable food, and decrease in food loss. So with those things in mind, came about the creation of the Fisheries Act and the National Fisheries Authority after the Fisheries Act of 2018. It showed some of the concerns that were being experienced prior to the creation of the National Fisheries Authority, that the sector challenges were overfishing of coastal reef fisheries, minimum compliance and enforcement, inadequate diversification of fisheries, inadequate R&D, data collection, and education. And that's both education for the fishers, fish farmers, and the public on a whole. So with the advent of the Fisheries Act, it created the National Fisheries Authority, which moved from the Fisheries Division that only had two branches, the aquaculture and capture fishery branches, and moved to 4 divisions. The divisions were Direction and Administration, Captures Fisheries, Aquaculture, Fisheries Compliance, Licensing, and Statistics Division. This led to a more focused and effective approach to the management of the sector and to address and improve the availability of fishery products, proteins from our blue economy, and the development of our blue economy and our fishers on a whole. The main function of the technical divisions are listed here. So under the capture fisheries, it was the management and conservation, fisheries development, the research, extension and training and support services. For aquaculture and aquaculture development and management, aquaculture research, fingerling production, extension, training, support services. Now, the third division, which some persons might say wouldn't contribute to food and nutrition security, but they are very important, is the Compliance, Licensing, and Statistics Division. Because with monitor, control, surveillance, and enforcement, we're able to enforce the laws and regulations that we have for the fishery sector. Licensing fishers and fish farmers, vessels, and facilities, and producing statistics which allow us to guide programs and projects going forward. So some of the major initiatives that have come under these four divisions, and I just name a few to show you how holistically we have addressed the food and nutritional security problem, is one. Under direction and administration, where the overall operation and direction of the authority is decided, but we work, these are the four the major initiatives that we do. First of all, it's the creation of the regulations to support the Fisheries Act of 2018, which came into effect in 2019. This, and then next here we have the Blue Justice Initiative, which was mentioned by Mr. Horton for one, about which addresses organized crime in the fisheries sector and IUU, which, as previously mentioned, our ocean space is so much greater than our landmass, and to be able to properly manage and secure this ocean space, we need support and assistance. Through the Blue Justice Initiative, there has been the creation of the Blue Justice Caribbean Hub, which is a regional response to the problem and issues of organized crime in the fisheries sector and IUU. Next, we have, where through the administration and direction division, partnerships with regional and international organizations, partnerships with the CRFM, the FAO, bilateral arrangements with other nations. One of them that I'll bring to your attention is the bilateral arrangement and work that Jamaica has been doing through the National Fisheries Authority with the Japanese government. And through that, we have been we are the recipients of a grant that will provide us with a research vessel that will facilitate us fulfilling one of the issues that Mr. Horton mentioned, where we have such large marine resources, but we don't know what is there. We have done less than 10% of R&D in our fisheries waters. For Jamaica, our fisheries waters is in excess of 25 times our landmass. So with the availability of this vessel, we'll be able to do R&D in our EEZ, and our ambition is to also help our regional partners or other Caribbean states. Next point that I have here under the initiatives under the direction and administration is the WTO agreement. This is the fisheries agreement that I'm mentioning here specifically. This agreement, we small island developing states, large ocean states, have to be very vigilant when going forward to make sure that when this agreement comes into force, we will still have the policy space to help to develop and exploit our fisheries resources. Because as the previous speaker mentioned, Mr. Joseph, that there as small island developing states, we are the brunt of a lot of the restrictions and not sustainable use, but conservation. And we need to be sustainable in our use, because the pillars of food security is food access, affordable food, nutritious and healthy foods, increased yields, environmentally sustainable production, variety of sustainable foods, and decrease in food loss. So we need to be looking at sustainable use of our marine resources. Under our technical divisions, some of the major initiatives that we have been implementing to address the food and nutritional security issues are under capture fisheries, management plans for conch lobster, sea cucumber, sea moss, expansion of our fish sanctuaries. Now in Jamaica, we have approximately 11,000 hectares of fish sanctuaries. The development of our offshore pelagic fisheries, that's our fad fishery and long line, unlike our partners in the Eastern Caribbean, that's not a well-developed part of our sector, and developing underutilized fisheries and climate smart technologies. The aquaculture division also deals with the introduction of climate smart aquaculture systems and practices. We do training in pond construction and management of our aquaculture enterprises. We do broodstock development, fry production, oyster production, freshwater prawn. Now, under the pillars, it speaks about diversification and reduction in waste. The prawn is another source of protein that can be grown simultaneously with tilapia production that makes a better use of the feed and the pond space. So it's a more rational use of the feed that you're using to feed the fish. It makes better use of the pond space. So it's rational, it's sustainable. We are developing a recirculating aquaculture system, hatchery, to increase the fry production, and post-larva, we are also dealing with post-larva production. The other point here on the aquaculture is promotion activities. Promotion activities is both to inform the public of the availability of products, the benefits of consuming the fisheries products, and allowing the farmers and the public to know the benefits of our aquaculture products and to assist in the distribution activities. Our final division that I speak about is the Fisheries Compliance Licensing and Statistics Division. Through this division, we license our fishers, as the name implies, and we have created to make it easier and more reliable for our fishers an online, a web-based licensing system. It's more convenient. It should be faster as we get rid of all the kinks and more convenient for the fishers. It increases and improves data collection. Data, without data and R&D, we cannot inform logically programs and projects to increase the production, diversify the industry, and to have more sustainable production of food. The improvement of compliance and enforcement, that is to make sure that we maintain our closed seasons, maintain our zonings, make sure that the activities at sea are within the law so that it will allow for sustainability and proper management. And we produce statistical reports which will inform the nation. So how these initiatives really help in our addressing food and nutritional security? For one, improve catch. Through the fad fishery, longline fisheries, and development of underutilized fisheries in Jamaica, we have improved the catch for our fishers. That also improves their economic base of our fishers and our rural and coastal communities, which will allow them to be able to purchase other food. So our fish sanctuaries that facilitates an increase in biomass and diversity in our protected areas and allow for spill-off where our fishers are able to harvest larger and a more diverse selection of fish outside of the sanctuaries. Now we are dealing with R&D for fish size education. The fish size education is to ensure we protect our immature fish and allow for the reproductive cycle of our fish to be maintained and at least maintain our stocks. Through aquaculture, we have been doing brood stock development to produce a more efficient fish that will be a better conversion of the feed use, making it more profitable for the farmers, less waste of the feed. And both in our aquaculture and captured fisheries division, we do training for farmers and our fishers to inform them how to have better yields so that we have more product available and safer practices at sea, and also post-handling techniques are part of the training to make it a safer product. As the previous presenter said, that there was just consumption for the day. There was nothing about storage, handling, and for longevity of the product. Also, on the aquaculture, we have a project to use byproducts of industry in Jamaica to create an affordable. And if anybody is aware of, in the aquaculture, the feed cost is approximately a ballpark 60% of your production cost. So if we can drop the cost of feed by using byproducts to have a sustainable feed for our fish farmers, that will also increase their profitability and reduce waste. I mentioned the freshwater prawn. That is the informed polyculture, an additional protein source. And under the pillars of food and nutritional security, one of the pillars is a variety of food. So we have our marine captured fish, we have our tilapia, which is from aquaculture, and we're adding freshwater prawn. This will allow for better utilization of the pond space and also better utilization of the feed, reducing waste and allowing the fish farmers to be more profitable. We have embarked on seaweed production where we're doing sea moss, which will allow for sustainable nutraceutical production where this is a farm product and not just wild caught. This also allows for fishers, because of the depletion of the coastal reef fishery. This is an alternative livelihood for fishers who can go and culture seaweed and sea moss as another source of income to allow for them to be able to purchase food and to also help in the development of their communities. Catch data from our fishery, our licensing and statistics department informs projects, programs, availability and distribution of fisheries products, and allows for us to be more not reactive, but be more proactive in our interventions into the sector. The closed season compliance is done through this division, and we have lobster closed seasons, conch closed seasons, and this informs sustainability. Without the adequate closed seasons for the replenishment of the stocks, it would not be sustainable. So these are some of the things. and the reduction in IUU to improve the overall fisheries health with combating IUU both from local and international persons who fish in our easy and our waters without being appropriately licensed. So, in conclusion, I will say that how the fisheries authorities in the region can address food and nutritional security is with a holistic approach in looking at all of the facets of the industry from both regulations, laws, compliance, and R&D to help to support the fishers and to help to develop our industry in a sustainable manner. And just to say some of the spin-offs from this is that in 2020, the fisheries sector contributed to agriculture and fisheries. As was previously mentioned, we are like the stepchild. Only 8.29% of fisheries and aquaculture industry, but we have moved to 14.24% in 2023-24 with these approaches and taking this approach to a sustainable use of our marine resources. Thank you very much.